Well, let's see what else Amanda Bean is up to. I decide to follow them, and I have to know how many wheels have rolled by. Then I wonder, how many legs do those sheep have altogether? How many do they have altogether? Class? 36. Yeah, we figured that out. Now I really must catch up to these woolies on wheels. I really must know how many. I pump harder, I breathe harder, up the hill they go, up the hill I go, round the bend they go, round the bend I go, and there they are. The sheep stop at a barn and get off their bikes, and I get off my bike too. I do not stop to count the wheels. I follow the sheep. They go into the barn. I go in too. They reach into their fleecy pockets. Each sheep pulls out 5 balls of beautiful yarn. Oh no, I cry out. Now I must count the yarn too. I am Amanda Bean, and I count anything and everything. First it was the wheels, then it was the legs. Now it's the balls of yarn. I cannot believe my eyes at what I see next. 7 grandmas come marching in with 2 knitting needles each. They take the yarn from the sheep and start knitting sweaters. This dream is getting too crazy. Now I must add knitting needles to my list of things to count, and each sweater has 2 arms. Should I count them too? The grandmas start wrapping all the sweaters around me. Stop, I tell them. How can I count all the arms in the sweaters and all the knitting needles and the balls of yarn and the sheep's legs and the bicycle wheels if I'm all wrapped up? Multiply, bleat the sheep. Multiply, 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 chant the grandmas. Multiply, I ask. I am Amanda Bean, and I count anything and everything I say. Multiplying is counting, said the grandmas. It's just a fast way of counting. Yay, agreed the sheep. And here they are. I wake up to find my mother wrapping me in her arms. I had an amazing dream, I say. It was a noisy dream, my mother says. Today I will start to learn the multiplication facts, I announce. They are important to know if you want to find out how many, and you need to know fast. My mother agrees. I am Amanda Bean, and I still love knowing how many, but now I multiply anything and everything, and I never count sheep. So what I want you to do, this is what I would give as an exit ticket. If you notice, what do you notice about all the pictures? Does anybody notice what they notice? What do they notice about all the pictures? Here, I'll go over here to this page. What do you notice? Yes, they're grouped. So my exit ticket for you is this. How many pickles are there in the jars? So show me your thinking. Show me your thinking. How many pickles are in the jars? How many pickles are there all together? Okay? So you don't have to do that, but what I wanted to show you was, you don't have to do it. What I wanted to show you was you can use this whole book as a way to scaffold a lesson. Yes?
Would you expect them to just multiply 3 times 5 or use repeated addition?
Whatever they want to. So the goal here, that is a great question, Brianne. The goal here is for them to understand it is how many groups of 3?
5.
5 groups of 3, right? So I could be looking for, all I'm looking for, it depends on what you're looking for. You'd have that exit ticket, that 3, 2, 1. So my formative assessment would be for I would probably give another problem after y'all worked as a group for the number of legs. And then I'd say, okay, now I want you to do this one. And I'd have you formatively assess. Then I would say, how many pickles are there? Depends on your rubric. So with your special ed kiddos, they may not give you a multiplication sentence. That might be a 3. Like student is able to arrive at the correct multiplication answer showing how many groups in each and how many groups there are, how many are in each group, and give a multiplication sentence, right? That would be a 3. A 2, if that's what you're looking for, would be the students arrived at the correct answer, total pickles, but used repeated addition or some other method to show their thinking. Does that make sense? A 1 could be the student was not able to represent their thinking and did not get the correct answer. that make sense? Okay. So that's ultimately what you would do for an exit ticket. And if you notice, you can do any of these pictures. So if you notice here on this page, you've got like the number of panes in the window. On this page, you could say like, and you could also scaffold it. So the reason I did the pickles, does anybody know for your special ed kiddos why I would have the pickles? Why would that be a good one to give them? What?
Oh, I was saying it's a recognizable item.
It's a recognizable item.
Is it counting by 5?
Yes, it's counting by fives, okay? Because most of them count by fives. Now, they may do that, okay, but they have to show their thinking. So as you're, like, if you pull up the paper and they have, 5 times 3, right? And then they write the answer, and it's like, well, how did you get that? How did you get 5 times 3 is 15? Oh, I know how to count by fives. It's 3 fives. It's like, okay, can you write that for me? 5 plus 5 plus 5. Do you see that? So I want to see that. I want to see their thinking. Okay? You could do, I think those are olives. These are tea bags. I know that. And then you could also, like for your more advanced, you could say, how many bicycle wheels are there? Do you see that? Okay, because we didn't find that out. You could also do how many balls of yarn? Okay, do the sheep have? Okay, so there's lots of things. That's what I love about this book. So if you're doing, if you're having this lesson, this is great to do if you're going to pull out your students, have a small group. You can't really do it when you push in, just because you can't be reading this book while they're doing it. But you could use the book like the pictures. So if they're doing, like, you could have a problem and say, okay, like you could give a summary of it. Like Amanda Beans likes to count everything, but she saw these sheep with balls of yarn. How could she figure out how many balls of yarn she had? Do you see that? And then you could also parallel it. The exit ticket could also be a real world task. So we've done this before, like mom is creating treat bags for my birthday party. She wants to put 5 treats in each treat bag, and I'm inviting 8 friends. How many pieces of candy will she need to buy? Do you see that? Okay, so that kind of levels it up to the real world task to say, oh, this is the same. It's repeated addition or multiplication, and it gives them something real world. Does that make sense? Okay, good job. All right, that's it.